Hartlepool and Nations FC. A lot of exciting stuff happening to this Nation FC side with so many changes from Coach Kasim Ingel, resting so many of his quality players. But of course, once again, Spencer Chawate, Nete Christopher, Osekufo and Grip Manoko get the opportunity to start once again. And they've been very quality addition to this Nations FC setup since the beginning of this season. Will not make the starting lineup, not even part of the match day squad. So Kwesi Nketiah will be starting this game for the Phobians. In between the two sticks, you've got Emmanuel Among with Michael Ampedu who have been slotted to the far right backs. It looks like they'll be having the first bites in today's fixture. And you can see it looks like they'll be having the first bites in today's fixture. And you can see Samuel Free Boateng also is getting the opportunity to once again start for this Hartlepool side. So there we go for the first 45 minutes here. And the two balls to turf in Kaswa. And Hartlepool already threatening the corner side.
Accra Hartlepool making their intent felt in this few hours of the game.
For the last time, Nations visited Hartlepool to a 2-goal drubbing with the Phobians winning by 2-0. And they'll be looking to revenge their loss here. And those goals were scored by Kasim Sise, the Ivorian international, and Hamza Issa. There's no starting this. That's a lovely hit there from Boateng against his former side.
That was a great chance. Accra Hartlepool should be making.
The Hartlepool fans will be expecting a lot from this. Samuel Free Boateng was not part of the match day squad against Viviani Gold Stars. Also failed to make any appearance against Young Apostles, but he's now onto the left hand side. Hartlepool trying to attack from the far left hand side, brought in by Amankwa, but once again it's a bit of misunderstanding, then it's cleared away. And you can see Hartlepool becoming a bit dominant in the last 1 minute and few seconds in this encounter already, making their intentions known. Here's Ampedu, brings it down to the left-hand side from Onkwa. That's a lovely run into the middle, drifting to the far side. And fails to really keep his eye on the ball and ends up giving it away.
Accra Hartlepool are pressing. They are making sure.
So that's it. Game restarting all over again from the far side. That's Ampedu. We'll be hoping to drop it deep. Comes to the man out the heart of defense for them. Osesibe. Yes, Yadom back again to the right hand side. And it's a long one for Osesibe, looking for the man in the 18 shots, but so much power behind it again. Also played for Salitas. So it's a well traveled goalkeeper. But here's Ampedu. Will have to find a bit of space. Decides to hit it once again to the left hand side. Well, Mankwa is best, the low team. The referee Charles Bulu spotting. So that was a sweet ball from Michael Ampedu, trying to change the direction of play onto the left hand side.
I think Christopher Native,
the man who is credited for developing most of the youth. And so Sesibe, that's a very short pass. And that's a lovely thin again from Abubakar. And Hartlepool recover as well. Back to the man in the 27 sets. And obviously that's going to be Yadom. The Nations. Yes, Yadom. Yes, Mankwa. Back to Yadom once again. Just stringing passes together in their own backyard. That's Ampedu on the far right hand side. We'll have to create a bit of space. It's a big 10 from the struggling a bit to really find his form in the Ghana Premier League since joining Hartlepool, the 12th-time MTN FA Cup winners or record holders. Now for the Premier League, they won over 20 titles. That tells you their pedigree. That's beautifully done by Oko Gripman. Suffolk Cup.
The back line of Nations FC has been very solid. Very solid that the goalkeeper he's so, I would say that he's been on holiday because Accra Hearts of Oak have not been able to create a clear-cut chance.
That's a lovely touch from Ampedu. There's Rafael Amponsa. Brings it back to the left-hand side for Mauli, who is now drifting onto the edge of the area, decides to go for the shots. Not a bad idea, but again, it is not exact kick he was expecting at the end. This is the post by inches. Amponsa goes to the ground. Well, the flag is already up.
Exactly what I said earlier. Nations are trying to take Accra Hearts of Oak on the break. Allow them to control the midfield. Allow them to push men forward. As soon as they regain possession, they send Chawate out front. They send long balls to him to see if he can probably into the box. Unfortunately, they've not been able to give good passes into the box.
Yes, Kunedu Yadam brings it back to Nketiah. Decides to release a long drive. Unless to find Hussein, but it's picked by Ampedu. Return to the goalkeeper once again. Will launch a deep one and has been stopped by the header of Razak Simpson. Nations coming for it. Here's Arno. Christopher Nete drags it onto the left hand side of the field in Suffolk territory. It's a bit of touch on him. He stays on the turf. He's got a fit. Curled it into the channel. That's a lovely defending from Razak Simpson. But it stays with Suffolk. Piling the pressure. Here's Rafael Amponsa. Amankwa. Sensing the killer, but again it's full marks from Robin Sonnen. Struck beyond maximum, so at least rescue that one.
Fantastic play from Accra Hearts of Oak. Like I said, chances and score goals, you would have to use the wings, and that's what they are doing.
Alassane. Sakwa. Arno. Being searched for the 21-year-old. It's just so much for him to keep on the turf. I think Nketiah picks it.
The rotational system by Nations FC is making it very difficult for Accra Hearts of Oak to regain the possession in midfield. Anytime Nations FC are in control of the game in midfield, Accra Hearts of Oak find it very difficult to regain possession.
Well, Fisher Charlton have been handled so well into this game. Stacked 10 goals together with Stephen Amankuna of Bekum Chelsea. He'll be looking to add a bit to his tally this afternoon. But there's Nation coming forward. Charles Bulu places on the advantage. And you can see the Nation fans very upset all over the stands. The referee have none of that. And finally, the whistle has been blown.
I think it was a very good challenge.
Well, that was the man I was talking about, Faisal Chawate against Osesibe. And the Nations starman. So staying on the turf, and you can see the complaints from the fans all over the stands there. Most of them being in the travelling Nations. Hearts of Oak, who need to watch out, but it's been well taken care of by Kwesi Nketiah. It's a very tight game. Hussein, there's a big opportunity. While managed to keep it on the turf, looking for a bit of help. Samankwa arrives, picks it, sends it to a swinger. Abubakar. And as continuing the pressing of Nations FC, taking again to them. Stephen Asari. Hatsefok next to be taken with Diamanti, and that's another difficult encounter to look forward to. The Nations will be sitting home to Kerala United. They'll be travelling all the way from Tamale. Here's a lovely ball sent across into the Nations box. And it's yes, no, breaking it forward from the right hand side for Nations FC. Nete, not the best of it. Back into midfield. Stephen Asari, Hatsefok managing to keep it. And it's a very scrappy play at the moment. Nete managing to win it finally. We'll find Anno once again. Took his eyes up the ball. And it's Hatsefok throwing. And it's the man of after making his debut for Hatsefok. Of these players runs Fort Mensa in most of the fixtures. Emmanuel Amankwa. A while ago was Hatsefok bench, and you could see Coach Abubakar Watara.
A lot is expected of Accra Hearts of Oak. There we go for the second half of the game.
So Nations FC having an opportunity to restart this particular half. And that's a long drive from the far side from the captain, Razak Simpson. Oh, the best of header, Philip Ponsa. And that's pushed away by Nketia. Simpson. And that's a very long kick to Chris Nketia.
Nations are playing to a very well rehearsed strategy. They are soaking Accra Hearts of Oak in and playing them on the counter attack. They've been brilliant. I believe Accra Hearts of Oak have something up their sleeves in the second half. Let's see what they are bringing to this game in the second half.
Olemane is down on the tape. Looks to be Yawano. The man in the 33 sets. Just straight to one. Yeah, Simpson will quickly take this one. Finds Aqua. Brushed off by Osesime. Stand away by Razak Simpson. Stephen Apiasari stays in trouble. Addison comes off the woodwork. My goodness. That's double agony for Hatsefok, who fails to bury that big opportunity at the back of the net. The first one creased the crossbar, stays within the 18-yard, and the second one, Abdulaziz's header absolutely could not be kept below the crossbar.
Accra Hearts of Oak should be able to take these chances. They've not been able to create clear-cut chances in this game. So when they are given such opportunities, they should be able to put the ball at the back of the net.
Let's have a look at it again. This was taken away by Razak Simpson. That's brought across by Stephen Asari, who spotted his man in those ample of space. Boateng's header creased the crossbar in the final header from the man in the number 2 set. Just way beyond. Unless to cause any trouble for the traveling team. Chaspulu once again very close from their territory, but this was an incident just 10 minutes ago when Hatsefok thought they were close to opening the scoring account. Wait a minute, it's Hatsefok big chance here. Can they turn it in? That's a big mess. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And I'm sure for most of the fans watching, 2 big opportunities have been fluffed away. And of course, at this moment. Ouattara cannot be blamed if Hearts of Oak fails to get a goal in this fixture.
What a chance. And like I said, Accra Hearts of Oak would have to put these kind of chances away.
Nations FC this again. That's just what the player was thinking about. And that's a big mess, isn't it?
This should have been a tap-in. A simple tap-in. That was an empty net.
Smalley deciding to round up the goalkeeper. Ruben Sanon ends up missing that big opportunity to push the Phobians into the lead. And that certainly will be still in the headlines tomorrow if this game stays this way. "61 minutes. And we're still at where we are. No goal to show forth between these two sides. Here's Dancy coming forward, trying to beat Ampedu into the box. Comes off his hand. It's 10 minutes and decides to go back to sleep. And then it's been nation showmanship until the blast of the whistle. Let's just look at it. Might have come off the hand of Abdul Aziz, who's got a yellow card in the process. This nation's building up from the right hand side, trying to drift into the midfield. That's a big run. And as Christopher Nete goes to the ground and wins the sympathy of the referee. Well, in terms of position, it's Nations who are a bit in cruise control in the second half.
Carry on with the game.
Nations free kick. And it's headed away by Mauli. Oh no, it's back to the left hand side. Down to trying to cut up in Hearts of Oak's defense. Walking into the traffic of bodies. That's a lovely hit. Stays on Dansu, and then it's blocked by Michael Ampedu, who gets injured in the process.
That was a dangerous play.
Wallace Nations corner kick. As Phil rightly said, Hearts of Oak have been a bit careless at the back. You need to really keep your eyes stuck onto the ball, but that's a lovely ball headed away by Kunedu Yadam. Simpson is a lovely shot. Oh my goodness, it's in! The Blacksterman have just shot Nations FC into the lead. What a hit! What a goal from the centre back, and Nation rejoices. Captain leading by example. Look at it from that distance.
Fantastic.
On his face. Hearts of Oak did not really see that copper bullet being flashed at them. And goalkeeper Chris Nketiah absolutely unaware of that intention from Razak Simpson. Got it right. Perfect hit into the top right corner.
Nketiah was stunned by the strike. He was not expecting such a shot from Razak Simpson.
Big technique from the Nations skipper. Of just decide to hit it out of more than 45 yards out. And certainly go past Steven Asari, brings in another killer. He loses everybody. Now the 4-2 Nation player at the far right hand side. Oh, that shot just taking out the steam of Hearts of Oak. Confidence to play into this game. But this one is well dealt with by Chris Nketiah. Well, this is where Benjamin Asari has been missing between the two sticks for the home side. Then again,
Nations FC have been average throughout, but they've dealt with every ball thrown at them, every risky ball that Accra Hearts of Oak have created in the box. They've dealt with them. let's see how Accra Hearts of Oak will be able to come back in this game.
But there's Hearts of Oak. Free kick sent across, and this is a big moment. And the Phobians trying to cross up Razak Simpson's goal. And just rubbing San on stakes between his own two sticks. Looks like the medical team would have to attend to him. Oh, just what a delivery once again into the channel.
This is where Accra Hearts. That's a super technique. And coming from a defender, that's what it's intriguing. Coming from a defender, that's super.
Well, we get ready to see it. Set to side coming in for Abdulaziz. Who have not really added anything to Hearts of Oak attacking threat this afternoon. As we get to see the experienced man coming in for the Phobians. And that'll be a big blow against his former teammate. And the former Wafa man just goes to the ground.
Let's hope he will be okay. Because Nations FC would need him in this game.
Well, he's limping on his left leg, but it's good to continue as we draw closer to the 78th minute. It's in! Oh my goodness, I didn't miss that! And it's Kunedu Yadom, the centre back, who flapped that big opportunity.
What a chance! Accra Hearts of Oak would have to be putting these balls at the back of the net.
We'll watch it again. They were waiting for it in the penalty box. It was delivered across and picked Kunedu Yadom in plenty of space. Absolutely. That is a very embarrassing touch. Hello, everybody in that deep blue. But there's trouble for Nations FC. The skipper. Oh, bit Boris also getting ready to come in for Emmanuel Arnault. And it's the Avoria International, who has been flashed inside by coach Kasim Engel. That was a bit of a clever save there. Only to deny the Phobians. In the last 6 matches, the last time he scored was against Hearts of Lions, when he scored on that 82nd minute at the Crown Sports Stadium. And since then he struggled to put one behind the net. And another player who've stayed with in Enyinasi back in January 26, as he looks to be returning. It's a loss of substitution for the Phobians as they look to track their tactics a bit. We've also seen Enoch Esibo